Hello scholars, STEM Sergeant Tony here. Here we begin our journey of a multi-part lesson on building your very own drone. We will move along step by step in building a basic drone from component parts. I am going to assume you have some level of mechanical inclination and a ton of curiosity in how a drone is constructed and actually works. But before we get started with the introduction, let's go over some of the tools we will be using on our build. We're going to build a quadcopter with a minimal components to support basic aerial line of sight navigation. Our aircraft must be durable enough to withstand crashes from moderate heights. We'll be using a carbon fiber frame with a 250 millimeter diagonal propeller span. We want all the electronics to be located internal to the aircraft for efficiency and protection from hard landings. Put another way, we want our aircraft build to maintain a stable center of gravity. Additionally, we will support the transportation of a small payload tethered to the aircraft. Our aircraft should support the mid-air release of that payload by remote means upon reaching a target. Now for this build, we'll be using the Holybro Kakute Teco electronic speed controller stack. We are choosing this flight controller mainly for its integrated electronic speed controllers. This means less wiring is required and a shorter build time experience. The Kakute is an F7 class flight controller that has a super fast CPU. This is necessary so the aircraft can keep up with the navigational demands of firmware releases of the Betaflight flight control program. For propulsion, we'll be using 4 Emax M2204 2300 kV brushless motors. We'll be using 4 130 millimeter 3-blade polycarbonate propellers with a 30-degree pitch. The receiver-transmitter radio combination we will be using are products from the manufacturer FrSky. The receiver I will be using will be the X4R SB. We will need a receiver capable of producing an S-bus output signal required by the flight controller. We will also need to output a PWM signal for the servo motor required for the payload drop mechanism. The X4RSB receiver is capable of providing simultaneous output of both of those signals. Now this build has been successfully tested with the FrSky QX7 and X9D transmitter radios. Both radios are very capable FrSky transmitters supporting the OpenTX open source RC protocol. For the power source of this build, we will be using a lithium polymer 4-cell battery capable of sustaining 1300 milliamperes of current to the aircraft. This 4-cell battery is capable of keeping our aircraft airborne for about 20 minutes of flight time. The Kakute flight controller can operate on a 3 to 6 cell battery and can provide regulated positive 5 volts for the receiver and other onboard components. The Kakute flight controller combo does not require a separate power distribution system for this build. However, if we were to add additional components for more features, like a camera for example, then I would recommend building a separate power distribution system on the aircraft. For the payload drop mechanism, we'll be using an inexpensive servo motor. A commonly available servo motor used in robotics is the Tower Pro SG90 9G servo motor. This motor costs less than $10 each, but a downside could be that it requires a PWM signal. Now I mentioned earlier the Kakute flight controller is driven by an S-bus signal. If we were to use an S-bus servo motor, the cost of these motors are around $60 and up. To keep our costs down of this build, the receiver will have to output both S-bus and PWM signals in the aircraft. That is why we will be using the FR Sky X4R SB receiver that is capable of producing both signals. So to recap, here are our main components. 250 millimeter carbon fiber frame, flight controller with integrated speed controllers, 4 motors, MT2204, 2300 kV, 2 pairs for clockwise and counterclockwise rotation, 4 polycarbonate propellers, 2 pairs for clockwise and counterclockwise rotation, a radio receiver to bind to the transmitter, a radio transmitter to bind to the receiver, a LiPo battery, 4-cell, 1300 milliamperes, and a servo motor for the drop mechanism. Now, aside from these main components, there are a few additional items we will need to complete our build. We will need a soldering station, one that is capable of supporting various temperature settings. The soldering iron should accommodate replaceable tips and a stand for placement when you're not actively using the hot iron. In addition, we will need a spool of lead-free 21 gauge soldering wire. We will need a heat gun for melting shrink wrap tubing. At least 900 watts is recommended for quickly shrinking wrap tubing without melting wire insulation or nearby electronic components. We are going to need a set of wire crimping tools for creating DuPont type connectors. Wire cutters and strippers will also be required for various small gauge wiring tasks. For safety, we're going to store our drone batteries in a metal container when they're not connected to the drone or charger. LiPo batteries present a hazard when allowed to discharge unattended. An extra set of grippers will prove indispensable when soldering wires to circuit boards such as flight controllers or ESC stacks. We will encounter many types of fasteners in building a drone. For our builds, we will require small gauge metric hex wrenches to secure fastener screws. We will require various types and color-coded wires for our builds for different uses. We will need 1 spool of black 18 gauge stranded wire. This wire will be used to carry AC current to the motors from the ESC stack. Next, we will need 1 spool of black 22 gauge solid strand wire for grounding our power and signal wires. Next, we will need 1 spool of red 22 gauge solid strand wire for providing power to various electronic components. Aside from these, we will need at least 1 additional color. It could be yellow, blue, orange, brown, or white, just not black or red. We will need these wires to carry signal currents throughout the electronic components. These additional spools should be 22 gauge solid strand wires. Use a different color for carrying a different signal. In addition to tools, we will need a few supplies to complete our build. A roll of 3M double-sided cushion tape will be used to fasten small electronic components, like the receiver, to the drone frame. Also, 4 and 6-inch zip ties will be required to safely fasten electrical wires to the frame. In the next lesson, we'll get started with building our first drone.